Good morning, Hope Community Church. I ran across a quote recently by a guy named Stovall Weems, and he says this. He said, I've heard you don't attract who you want, you attract who you are. He says that didn't fit for me. I believe that is true in default mode, but I believe you attract who you love. I believe God is into diversity. I like what he's saying there. And he's talking in terms of ministry, and I think it's true by default. We're gonna attract people that are just like us, but is that what God wants for us? Um, I think God wants us to reach out and to love those that are different than us. Might be you might live in a different neighborhood, might have a different socio-economic background, might be of a different race. But the reality is as a church, as a people of God, we will attract who we love. And the question that we may want to ask is, who is it that we're loving? The writer of Hebrews in the 13th chapter of Hebrews, he has kind of these kind of one-line things here. He talks about marriage and sexual purity and keeping yourself pure from the love of money and just all these different things about worshiping and generosity. But at the beginning of chapter 13, he says this. He says, let brotherly love continue. In other words, let's continue to love the people that you worship with, that are part of the church body. And then he says this, do not neglect to show hospitality to strangers. That word hospitality is xenophileo, which is literally love of strangers. So he's saying, do not neglect to love strangers. And most often the word stranger is a foreigner, somebody who's from somewhere else. So he says, do not neglect to show hospitality to strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unaware. And he could very well be referring to Abraham, who entertained angels unaware. He showed hospitality to them. And it says, remember those who are in prison as though in prison with them, and those who are mistreated, since you are also in the body. So who is it around us that is being mistreated? Who is it that is not shown justice and love? He tells us to remember them. And I don't think he means to intellectually think about them. Usually when the word remember comes up in the Bible, it's an action is taken. Like God remembered Noah. It's not like God goes, oh yeah, there's that guy in the boat. When God remembered Noah, he took action on his behalf. So continue to love the brothers. Show love to strangers, people that are not like you. And remember those in prison and those who are being mistreated. By default, we're going to attract people that are just like us. But I think God is calling us to attract those that we love. And who is it that you're showing love to? Love you guys. Praying for you. Talk to you soon.